events, show your face. You know, here's a phenomenon. I mean, I was on forums for years and years and years, and you would never know, you know, who owned the site. Even trying to contact the forum owners, it's impossible. You send an email to some black box, it never gets answered. And most of these forums never even talk about who owns the site, right? It's just there. It's like how we all involved. There's no answer, right? We just showed up one day. Same thing with these forums. So I think it's very important that, you know, what we did, you know, the first month we launched, we anteed up some money. It was the time of SEMA, which is the big car show in Vegas. And we spent $2,000 and rented out the penthouse in the Wynn for all of our members. Just come, we'll have food, drinks. And of course, every guy there has a camera, and every guy there took 1 million pictures, and those 1 million pictures went on every single automotive forum across the web. So this giant party in a penthouse at the Wynn, and all done by L4P.com for free for their members. So that really brought in. After that, it was just, we had, you know, our membership spiked up, you know, 100%. We also hosted a car event called the Gold Rush Rally. I don't know how many people here have heard of it. It's actually grown quite a bit. They actually shot a movie for it this past year. So some of the most exotic cars in the entire world compete in a car rally, which is just everyone jumps in their car, goes to one city, parties there, jumps in the car again, goes to another city. So I have a really quick preview of the branding we did there, which really took our site into really the next level. Let's see if it'll play. I don't know if there's going to be any audio here. So we actually spent some money on this production, and it turned out great. It's on the DVDs and Blu-rays were sold out in the first day, and it kind of gave. Also, it's all branding. Every single car had our logo on it. The video had our logo on it. Really built a lot of excitement up. And throwing the event paid for the event, right? So all of this was like kind of free branding. And it was sold out. The first year it was sold out. The second year, we hired a professional film crew to go out there and shoot the whole thing and edit it into a 50-minute movie. And this is kind of like the creme de la creme of rallies now. And we created this in 2 short years. Last year we had 75 cars. This year there's going to be 100 to 150. So really exciting event. Another way to free brand, a cost-effective brand your. I don't want to show you this whole thing. It's actually pretty cool though. The shots are amazing. There were helicopters shooting all events. So that's a little bit of history about how we kind of bootstrapped this forum into one of the most recognized automotive forums on the web. But now, you know, it's interesting to see that there's, you know, all the people here we're really excited about. I mean, we've talked about for years having some kind of forum conference, but also the technologies that are being created specifically for forums, and not just for hosting, for advertising, for mobile purposes. Probably the most important thing is you know, Google continues to get smarter and better and more refined, and the forums continue to index better. I mean, we've all seen kind of the flack that demand got from the content farms, and Google's kind of putting the smackdown on content that is real but really not real, right? So, from what we've been hearing is that the forums, because all the forums are good content, they're going to continue to start to index better over time, which is great for all of us in here. You know, Google, the forums are actually looking much prettier. You know, people are actually spending time. Internet brands, Vertical Scope are buying sites, redesigning. Huddler has done a fantastic job of taking you know, some of the most antiquated forums online that are basically just a V-bulletin template and turning it into like a real experience and site, and then driving their traffic, driving their numbers up as well. What I mentioned earlier is what we're most excited about is all the dedicated technologies just the forums. This hasn't, you know, this wasn't around 36 months ago. Some of it was, of course, vBulletin and VBSEO has been around for a while, but you know, we have VigLink here. We have Dan from Huddler. We have post-release here. Talk is also here. These are all technologies that were either built in the forums or built for the forums. And of course, as I mentioned before, they're being taken more seriously. Internet brands, vertical scope, they're buying these forums for millions of dollars in some cases. So there's real value in that. Now the toughest part, especially with forums that have been around for a while and really haven't really tried to monetize, what are some of the most common issues on forums? People expect it for free. What is that? Have you ever, seriously, what is that? People are so angry when you throw an advertisement out. They're like, well, I'm going to another forum. This is ridiculous. How can you guys do this? It's like, well, first of all, this isn't free. It costs a lot of money and a lot of resources for this. So what you want to do is you kind of want to ease into monetizing your forum. So we have a lot of forums that have never allowed any sort of advertising and just relies purely on sponsorships, which have dwindled down to basically nothing. So what we have done, at least at VigLink, is, and prior at driving revenue, say, look, our technology, no one's going to see it, and you need to make some money to pay for your costs. So why don't you plug it in and see it? And after some arm wrestling, they're like, fine. And then we always get that call, a month later, sometimes an email later from their wife saying, this pays our mortgage. What the hell was my husband thinking? Why didn't he go with you guys 3 years ago? And I'm like, well, I told him, at least you're on it now, right? So once they get kind of a taste and they realize that, this isn't $100 a month. You could quit your job and just run your forum that you do anyway. It's huge. So what we suggest is, ease into it. Choose a least aggressive kind of advertising means, what people are used to, and then kind of continue to push it and see, when you start to get some flat. Certainly, you probably want to get the support of your inner team in your community. Sell this in. Say, look, guys, here's the cost of running this site. This is serious money. It costs me $1,000 to run it plus my time, and I'm making no money off of it. And with that money, take some of it and give it back. Not literally, but figuratively. Have an event, throw a party, give away T-shirts, give back to those members, make them feel important, because you know what? They're your unpaid employees that have been putting on content on the site since day one. Reward them. Give them something back. Here's a slide on you should be doing all of this, or at least looking to all these technologies. So this slide is called Getting the Last Drip of Juice from Your Orange, right? So first of all, if you have AdSense on your page, you should. Every website in the entire world has AdSense running, you should too. So that people should be used to that, and it should be accepted. Sponsorships, so sponsorships are the original way of forums to survive, right? So there were sponsorships, and there were sometimes donations. So if you're making money off of them, there was a perfect example before Alvin's team bought 6 Speed Online. One of the watch guys, and this was when I was involved with 6 Speed, the original owners were charging this guy $2 grand a year for a sponsorship. And in turn, he was selling $200,000 to $300,000 of watches a year. So of course, this guy was thrilled, right? So are you giving the farm away for free? Raise your prices. Like $5,000 a year, and people are going to complain. That's like one sale in some cases for these guys. Give me a break, seriously. Spend $5,000 and search it for a week and see how far that goes. Do you have enough traffic to sell on a CPM? Everyone's on a CPM now. You talk to people who sponsor forums, and they're like, they don't even know what a CPM is. So part of it is look, this is getting more competitive. This space is more valuable. Let's move to a CPM model. And also, look, everything costs more every year, so your sponsorships should too. Sure, you probably have those strategic clients where you don't want to really raise the price, but at least raise it a little bit. Some of the sites I've seen, they're charging $2,000 for a banner that's worth probably $20,000 to $50,000. And then also try out all these new technologies, and all the owners of these technologies are here. Post-release is here, VigLink is here, Tap and Talk is here. Have you tried some of the more evasive solutions like Contera and Vibrant? The story goes back and forth. People love them, people hate them. It goes back and forth. But I think that you could use that in moderation. Perhaps you could use that if people aren't logged in. We see a lot of forums doing that. There's also that data that you have that's sitting on your site is really valuable. The data exchanges will buy that data. And your users won't see anything. It doesn't take a big answer. So talk to a Rapleaf, talk to Chango, talk to a Blue Kai. Those are the 3 big players in the market, and try to get some extra money from that. Also, Tap and Talk, as I mentioned before, they're here. They're going to talk a little bit. What are you doing to What are you doing to help your site be accessed from your mobile phone? There's got to be solutions for that as well. So that's the end of my presentation. I did this at like 4 in the morning, like 2 days ago, when I was newly engaged. My girlfriend was yelling at me. So it wasn't too bad, was it? Okay, good.
In your opinion, instead of a versus, how do we make it a leveraging Facebook? How do forums really take advantage of the huge growth that we're seeing in some of the other issues?
It's a scary thing because I hear a lot of the forum owners say the same thing. It's like, look, we want to promote our product on Facebook, on Twitter, but we're worried that they're going to just be gathering information back. So I think it's a delicate balance. I don't see forums taking over, Facebook taking over the forum space. Yeah, it's an extra competitor, but when you're on Facebook or Twitter, are you talking about a car part that you need? Are you talking about a suit that you're looking to buy? Are you talking about a watch you're looking? It's not going to replace it. However, it's just another distraction. I think that, carefully using those services, yeah, you should have a Twitter account for your forum, you should have a Facebook account for your forum, and carefully manage those would be it.
I mean more along the lines of like Facebook Connect, because for me personally, when I'm browsing the net and I come across lots of forums, even as a forum owner, I don't want to join 20 different forums.
I know.
So is there a way to leverage the fact that 500 million people already have a Facebook login? You can jump right on your phone and start.
It'll be interesting. Adrian's actually speaking a little bit later, and I know vBulletin's working on stuff like that. So that would be an interesting question for them. Yeah, I totally agree. I have, I'm on probably 25 different forums, and I always, some take caps, some don't, and I always forget my login. It's a complete pain. So I totally agree. We're running out of time. Okay,
we're good.
Any more questions?
So I'm just wondering, say you have a new forum. What are your best practices in growing that forum and getting people to engage in that forum?
Yeah, the content is king, right? So it's a difficult process if you're going to go at it alone. You have to get some friends. You have to get some partners. And if you get some partners, make sure they have the skill set that's opposite to yours. Don't hire another you, right? Hire someone. If you're bad at design, hire a designer. But you have to give someone something to talk about, right? So the conversations are, like if you're starting off, here's a sale here, here's the link to it. Or, hey guys, I just got married, what do you guys think about that? You have to seed all these, I know what you think about it. I know, right?
Like, are you, so it's fresh, you have all these questions in your forum. How do you get people to your website now to get in that forum?
What we did is we just grabbed all our friends.
Okay.
We went to the other forums and say, look, this forum's gonna be so much better and we're gonna give you a voice, come to our forum. So that's one way to do it. The other way is really to get the group of friends to come and they tell a friend and they tell a friend. But it's a combination of all branding too. You got to make them feel like they're part of something cool, because that's how all the forums start. They start off really cool. It's like a family. Everyone loves each other. And then 2 years, everyone hates each other and they're starting another forum. Okay, so it happens every time.